Welcome to the Center Court Podcast with Collin and Caleb. We're excited for today. I just a quick note. Obviously, Final Four starts today, so super excited about that. Super excited about championship weekend. NBA playoffs are heating up, so excited about that. But to get started, Collin, how are you doing, dude?
I'm good, man. Last time we talked, I was just starting my AAU gear, and I was just getting my feet wet. We had our first tournament. It didn't go as expected, but we're keeping a positive mindset. We're building on that, and we're gonna continue to get better. But besides that, I'm currently at my grandparents celebrating Easter weekend. No better way to spend Easter than with family. I'm good. Life is good. Can't complain. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Excited for this episode, and yeah, it's Easter weekend, so super excited about that. But yeah, and Final Four, man, can't beat
Final
it.
Four, yeah, for sure.
Can't beat it. But I guess to get started, I also wanted to. We'll get started with some coaching moves, some big coaching moves. So I'm really excited to hear your opinions on these because I have my own opinions on these. So
Okay.
I definitely like hearing other people's thoughts. But the first one, so Hubert Davis obviously got fired. We talked a little bit about that on our last episode about him potentially being moved. Were you surprised that he got moved, or were you like, yeah, that is this the right thing for him, or what are your thoughts there?
I'm not surprised. I definitely feel like it came at the right time. I felt like when he reached the championship with Caleb Love and RJ Davis, that set the expectation.
Yep.
And then after that, they didn't do so well, and then it just went downhill from there. But I'm not surprised. But where they go from here is where I'm really intrigued. I don't know how you follow up. I don't know where you would go. And then I've been hearing a lot of people say that they like to stay within the family, like former players and then people that have coached along with Roy Williams. But I just don't know if you stay in the family or do you go out and get a coach that's already proven that could bring in talent that's already won on that championship level. So I don't know, but I definitely saw it coming. I don't think this is the end for Hubert Davis. I still feel like he would be useful on somebody's staff, whether that be in the NBA or in college. But I definitely felt like this is not a surprise. But then again, Caleb Wilson, his star player, was hurt this year, so you can't really fault the man. But then again, it's you can't give up a lead that big, and come on now, you can't. What are your thoughts?
So, man, I like Hubert. I thought he was really good there, but like you said, the expectation at North Carolina is so high, and he set that early on in his career there as a coach. And I think that was a big factor in him getting moved the way he did and that kind of thing, as well as the tournament performance was a little disappointing, the comeback loss against VCU. But I agree with you. I think he'll end up somewhere, and he'll be really good wherever he goes because, again, he was winning at UNC. They kind of just declined a little bit from their previous, appearances in the tournament and that kind of thing. And I think that was a big factor in it. But do you think what really what's a realistic coaching candidate in your mind for UNC?
I don't know. I've been hearing. Honestly, I think since he went to North Carolina, I think he's a great point guard in the North Carolina system. I feel like he would bring in a lot of top recruits, and I think that would be a good pull. But if we're going outside of the North Carolina fan, I think I would try to holler at Nate Oates, or I would try to get at somebody that's already proven on that on that level.
Yeah. I agree with. Yeah, I agree with you. Again, it's weird if they do continue to go down that North Carolina path. I don't know who they'll get because everybody, like every North Carolina former player and stuff, was so much behind Hubert Davis because they said he brought so much of North Carolina back in there. I mean, Marcus Page was his assistant, and obviously he was great there. And then he obviously played at North Carolina, so there was like so many generations of North Carolina behind that coaching staff that it's really going to be interesting who they hire. But with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get like Todd Golden from Florida. He's proven he had some questionable, he's made some questionable decisions in his past. But he's the caliber that I think North Carolina is kind of aiming for at this point in time. And I think in order for them to make that next jump, they really gotta get a guy that has been proven. But we'll see. I'm really curious to see how they.
Do you think Todd would leave and go to North Carolina? Do you think he would be down for that?
Depends on the money, man.
Yeah.
I mean, see, Florida's starting. I mean, obviously they lost in the round of 32, and we're actually going to talk about that in a little bit. But, I mean, they're kind of, in a way, kind of a blue blood. I mean, if you think about it, they won back-to-back in the early 2000s and then won one here a year ago. So, I mean, they're good. Like, they've always have been good. So it would take a lot of money and a lot of sway. I don't know. I would be curious to see how they could pull him from there. But that's someone that I could see them going after, honestly.
I think that regardless of who steps in, you're going to have a lot of pressure on you, being that it's North Carolina anyway. So
absolutely,
you're expected to win from the beginning, which also like puts a target on your back. And then you're following up Roy Williams, which is a legendary coach. Like you can't, you gotta meet the expectation. But I don't know. It'll be really, really, really interesting. And I also feel like they need a coach that'll bring in top recruits. Like, I mean, yeah, they had Caleb Wilson, but North Carolina used to be at the top for getting like 5-star recruits every single year, and I feel like we haven't seen that as consistently in these past few years.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. And I'm curious to see how they do. And I would expect to move here at least after the championship game here in the very coming days. I would say in the next week or two, I would hear some rumblings about who they're interviewing or something like that. So definitely keep an eye out there, and we'll try to keep everyone posted as much as we can. But the next coaching move that I'm really, really want to hear your opinion on is Will Wade, man. So were you surprised that LSU brought him back?
100%. It's just like a slap in the face. Like, I don't understand. Yep. I mean, I know he's a great coach, but at what – like, it's not a good look for your program. I mean, like, yeah, he did win the NC State, but the man literally got in trouble. And then it's like you're just pushing that aside just because you think he can help your program out. But there are tons of other coaches that have a clean background that would not, jeopardize your program. I just think it's a huge, huge slap in the face.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, dude. So, like, I think it's a horrible look. I completely agree with you. He was on a wiretap, literally like flipping out over money stuff, and obviously now what he was complaining about, and that money stuff is legal in the NCAA. So I still think it's a horrible look. They fired him 4 years ago, obviously, but I think what they did to Coach McMahon, I thought that was so shady. They hadn't even fired him yet, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're hiring Will Wade." So imagine your job, and they're like, "Oh, somebody's coming to take your spot, but you haven't even been fired yet. You're still a coach,
right.
So you still got to be recruiting or whatever you got to be doing." And it's like, that's so shady, man. That fits the brand of LSU at the moment, like just
exactly
as a whole.
Exactly. They haven't been competitive in a while, and I feel like this just sets them back even more. Because what recruit is going to want to come play for you? I mean, I don't, not at all.
Yeah. So, do you think Will Wade can rebuild LSU? And if so, do you think he can do it like pretty quickly? What are your thoughts there?
I think they'll make some noise, but they play in a tough SEC. I don't see them getting nowhere in any championship sites anytime soon. Especially with the bracket that they're in. I just don't see that.
I agree with you, dude. Because I mean, you got to the SEC is crazy. Like as a
It's
whole,
loaded.
Talent levels, it's wild. It's wild. I mean, last season they had like 14 of the 16 teams or something like that in the tournament, and then this year they had like 12 of the 16. So it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, especially in his first year. Obviously, he can recruit. I don't know that he can do it legally, but we'll see. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm really not a fan of this move. I thought that was super shady by LSU, and obviously they hired the McNeese State athletic director, which is where he was right before he went to NC State. So there was definitely some connection there. I just thought it was crazy all around.
LSU as a whole and like coaching decisions, like hiring the Ole Miss coach and this, it's just like I just don't see how you build a winning program when you're known for doing stuff like this. Like I just don't see how you bring in top tier.
Exactly. And they've had like the governor of Louisiana like involved in coaching hiring. It's like, oh dude, this just seems like chaos. Like, I don't know. Whatever they're doing is crazy. They got a crazy little coaching.
Definitely. It's just like who's in charge? Because this is not whoever's making decisions should not be making them anymore.
They have a lot of coaches that just rub people wrong. If you think about it, you got Kim Mulkey, the coaching LSU women's team, and then Lane Kiffin and Will Wade. It's like talk about a unique.
Yeah, they need a reality TV show for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
Hard Knocks LSU.
Hard Knocks LSU. That'd be a good idea, honestly.
I'd probably watch. So I guess moving on from the coaching talk, I really want to hear your thoughts on the Final Four as well. So I guess getting started there with the UConn and Illinois game, that's the first game of the day. Do you think Illinois can score enough to keep up with UConn, and or what player has to step up to pull the upset? If you call it an upset, I really like Illinois in this game, but I want to hear your thoughts.
I think I'm pulling for Illinois too. I think the Keaton Wagler kid, I think he's very, very skilled, very tough. Stojakovic, I think he's nice too. They got a lot of scoring, but UConn on the inside is tough. Terrence Reed, he almost won. I mean, he did damn near win the game for them from Duke, like by himself. Like they were his only option down the stretch. But I definitely think Illinois is poised to win for sure.
Yeah, dude, I really like that Keaton Wagler kid. And whoever did the recruiting of him, excellent job. He was like a 3-star recruit, something like that.
Yeah.
And dude, I love watching his game. I think he was a huge surprise this year. And Hooper, man, he had 28, 25, 28, something like that in their last game, in the Elite Eight game. So I'm excited to see him against UConn. I expect a really, really good game. And these two teams are a little bit different than some of the other Final Four teams that I've seen in the past. I love the way they play. They play very unselfish, and it's not like they have – granted, like I said, Keaton Wagler had, 25, 28, but it's not like they have someone that's I don't know. It's not like they have a Yaxel Lindeborg or someone that's just like insanely gifted. Like Keaton Wagler's a stud. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just saying it's different. It's different than what I expected.
For sure. But I think Illinois is definitely could win. I don't like UConn plays hard, but I don't think they have enough. Like Terrence Reed was good, but it took a buzzer beater for them to get over Duke. Like I just don't think their guards can match up with the guards of Illinois.
Exactly. And I think Illinois actually has the bigs, in my opinion, to like
Yeah,
you can throw them out there. You know, they have the
right,
brother,
right.
the two brothers. They come in there, and
Yeah.
um, so yeah, I really like that. I also wanted to touch on we kind of texted back and forth about it, but the Dan Hurley interaction with the ref last in the Elite Eight game. What's your thoughts there?
That see, I don't. I don't understand how that was like no tech, no. I don't understand how you didn't take repercussions from that. Like, at what point have you ever seen a head coach do that to a referee? And then in the interview, the referee was like, "Yeah, he didn't say anything to me. He just, we just stood there." I'm like, what? How was that not? I don't understand how he didn't get any kind of trouble. I'm not the biggest Hurley fan anyway, but that just really just rubbed me the wrong way. And then like he ripped off his jacket, like he was just like I'm like, bro, like it was a great shot. I get that you're happy, but you still have to be humble. Like I just don't understand it. And to full-fledged head-butted referee, I just don't. I don't see how that's acceptable in any fashion at all.
And then Coach Hurley's like, "Yeah, me and him were friends. You know, I like had my arm around him in the game, and I'm like, bro, so you're saying you're friends with the ref?
Right.
Like, either
Right.
way, this is a bad look."
Right. Yeah, that was horrible.
So you just headbutt that was wild. That's something I have never seen, even in like little league. Like I've never seen anything like
Right.
that. And you get some
Right.
crazy coaches there. So
I just don't see how he didn't get attacked for that. Like I don't see how that's okay. So you're saying other coaches can headbutt referees and just walk off like nothing ever happened?
right, like I don't know how you like. They both kept like a straight face
Yeah.
in that interaction. Like I would have
Let
just
me
like
yeah.
what is going on?
Let me ask you this. What do you think about that last play? Would you have kept the ball and got fouled, or would you have made the play that got stolen? What would you have done in that scenario?
So, in my opinion, I'm holding the ball. I don't care if I get a 10-second count. At least you can set up your defense. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And
Right.
then, like, worst case scenario, you foul right there, and then they got to shoot 2 free throws, potentially tie the game. I wouldn't say to foul. I would say I would prefer not to foul. Um, but, you know, like, I don't know. I saw a crazy clip, and it was talking about I can't remember who it was, but it was Coach Shire, and he was showing his team how at the end of one of the Bulls games, a former I can't remember what player it was now. I can't remember, but he like threw the ball up in the air and let the time run out. And this is like I don't know, maybe a week or two before that happened. So in my head, I'm thinking, oh, he sees that and he's like thinking back to it. You know what I'm saying? If I can find the clip, I'll send it to you. But um, it was a former Duke player, and he's like, I love the way his thought process right here. He like catches the ball and he's like falling out of bounds. He just chucks it up in the air and lets the clock run out.
That's
and I'm
smart.
like, yeah, I think it would have been better had he just thrown the ball up in the air,
Literally.
like straight up. Not he's like trying to throw it down the court. I don't know. I would say personally, I would rather just in that scenario, I'd rather just hold the ball. And worst case scenario, you take a 10-second violation and at least get to set up your defense. That's what I would say.
I get his train of thought because it was nobody down there, but then again, it's like if you just pass fake, I guarantee you both of them are gonna jump because they're already playing.
Sure.
So if you just pass fake, they're gonna foul you, and you just go right. I just don't. I think that emotions were high. His brain was running 10,000 miles per hour, and it's easy for us to say because we're not in the game. But like, I definitely feel like he should have held the ball for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. I will say I'm not obviously not a big Duke guy. I do love the way that the Boozer brothers play. I really like. I get them confused. Their names, dude. He's good. I love his game. Cam, yeah, Cam and
Cam
Caden
is the point guard. Cam is the yeah.
I like Cam. I love his game. He's tough, dude, and he gets to the free throw line and he makes his free throws. Like that's some stuff that you really, really need in your big men, in my opinion. I love his game. I think he's going to be a star someday. Obviously, he's already a star, but I could see him being really good in the league.
Yeah, me
Depends,
too.
depends on scenario too. You know,
Yeah,
where does it go, that kind of thing. But
yeah.
love his
He,
game, man.
he's tough, real tough. He was playing on both ends. He scores on all three levels.
Yeah.
There's not really. I mean, he's kind of undersized. Not really the tallest for his position, but I mean, with what he lacks in height, he has in heart for sure, for sure.
Another guy like Isaiah Evans, dude. Love his game. He's tough. I think he has a perfect NBA game, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Like he can score, he can get to the
yeah.
cup, he can shoot. He's good. I really like Isaiah Evans too. Um, but not to talk too much about the Blue Devils as they're out. But
Do you think he comes
uh,
out this year though, or do you think he stays another year?
hmm, I've actually been thinking about that a lot because after his freshman year or before he went into his freshman year, they were projecting him to be a lottery pick that year. So
Mm.
last draft, but obviously he didn't have the best freshman season. He had a lot of growing to do. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't enter. It would if he comes back to Duke. I think it would probably be good for him to add a little bit to his game and get a little stronger still. And I think that would be very, very beneficial because right now he's probably out of the lottery, would be my assumption. So, I mean, if there's any potential to get back into the lottery, that's what I would aim to do if I was Isaiah Evans. What do you think?
I definitely think. I mean, you could tell from last year compared to this year, he definitely worked on his game. He's
Mm,
more than just a catch and shoot. He's taking it off the dribble. He's getting to the mid range. He's definitely expanded his game for sure, and I like that. But I definitely think one more year
yeah,
would definitely sustain him.
that's what I think too.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Let me ask you this though: what do you think about the Caleb Foster kid, like breaking his foot and coming back so quickly? Like, how do you what do you think about that?
So obviously, well, I my injury was a little different, but obviously I broke my foot, and it took me a long time to get back, to get cleared from PT and all that. So for him to come back from that as quick as he did and play as well as he did, I like him. I like him. Like his toughness, and man, he was a huge factor in their win against St. John's. He was a massive factor in that game. You know, he had some big time shots down the stretch. Um, and I like his game too. I think he's a 4-year guy. Like I don't see him being a lottery pick or anything like that. But love his game, man. And I love the toughness he showed. And now he has the whole offseason to get fully healthy. You know, I hope he didn't re-damage his foot, but you know, if he did, he does have the whole offseason. So I think that's a good thing.
It really
What about you?
surprised me back so fast. I don't know. This
I
modern medicine is crazy. Like Jason Tatum coming back so fast and him coming back. I just don't understand what these doctors are doing. But for him to come back so fast and play like nothing ever happened, it just is crazy. I definitely think he was vital to their team. Though they really needed a point guard out there to. Not saying Caden is bad, but Caleb has more experience. He's been in that position before, so I definitely feel like having him out there definitely helped them a lot.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
he's
I
tough for
completely
sure.
agree. So I guess moving on to the next game, we got Arizona and Michigan. Um, so does Arizona need a big scoring night from one of their from Jaden Bradley or someone else, or do you think it's more of a Michigan thing? We need Michigan's Yaxel Lindeborg or Ade Mara, one of those guys to have a big night. What do you think? Who do you think is kind of in the driver's seat in this game?
Here's what I think it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think it'll be a lot of scoring. I think it'll be a lot of defense because Michigan has a ton of size. Arizona has size, so the battle down low is going to be crazy. But I think Arizona's guards are going to be the key. Like Jaden Bradley, the Braxton kid, those they're going to be the key. I like Elliot Cadeau from Michigan, but I think Jaden Bradley and Arizona's backcourt would be the key to this game. Because I feel like the bigs from both teams cancel each other out. Like Lindenberg, Cole Pete. I feel like they can, they're like the same
Yep.
build. So I feel like the guards are really will set the tone from the beginning.
Yeah,
What do
I
you think?
agree with you. I agree with you. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
If
you're
I did, I completely agree. I'm so excited for this game because in my eyes, this is probably what would be the national championship game if they were on different sides of the bracket. Because man, these teams are good. They're the two teams that I've thought basically the whole season we're going to end up winning it all. Would be one of these two. I'm excited for this matchup. I really am. Like you said, talk about a great like match. Like they both fit each other really well. So I'm curious to see how this goes out. Michigan's got the big 7-footer, Mara, and then Arizona's got Jaden Bradley, who's a stud at PG at guard. Obviously, he's the Big 12 Player of the Year. So I'm really excited for this game.
What do you think about that, though? Do you think he deserved it, or do you think the Vansler should have got it? What do you I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's my immediate thought.
No, dude. So I think Devanza should have got it personally. Not saying Jaden Bradley wasn't deserving. I'm just saying Devanza is very much deserving. I mean, BYU was not the caliber that they typically are as far as like talent level as a whole, in my opinion. Obviously, they still made the tournament and that kind of thing, but I think he kind of carried that team. He's tough, man. He's really tough, and his basketball IQ and his efficiency, they really, really wowed me. So I would say probably lean towards AJ, but I will say Jaden Bradley is still a stud. He's a stud. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Let's see here. So, I guess moving on to the next question. Who do you think are your favorites to make it to the national championship, and who do you think is going to win it all?
For sure. I think they're a really, really good matchup. Arizona is a
So who do you think wins the national championship?
I got Arizona. I definitely got Arizona. I think they've been playing well all year. They score on all three levels. They have guards. They have depth. They have bigs. They are well coached. I think that Arizona has the potential to win. What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I think it's Arizona. I think they have the depth, which I love their depth. They all bring different dynamic to that team. So I really, really think it's Arizona. I would love to see Illinois pull it out. That's kind of who I'm pulling for the rest of the way. But I'm really excited to see how this goes. There's a lot of really good games. But yeah, I'm super excited. So who would be or who do you think is going to end up being the Final Four MVP?
If Arizona makes it, I think, let me see. I think I like Jaden Bradley, man. He really, really keeps that team together. He runs the show for them. I feel like they would not be where they are without him. But Cole Pete is a dog too. I like his game. So I feel like both of those. Or Wagler is tough too. You never know.
For sure.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with it too. If it's Arizona, I definitely think it's probably Jaden Bradley, just because he does so much for that team. He's the facilitator. He can score. He can defend. I think he's really, really good. So Braden Burries, I like Braden Burries as well. I think he's good too. It wouldn't shock me if he made it there. But yeah, I think it's probably one of those two. Koa Pete wouldn't surprise me either. If it's one of those three guys, that would be my go-to. Would be one of those three guys. So, do you have any bold predictions for the Final Four, or any thing that you think's really gonna shock people if you say it? And
I think Wagler has been hooping all year. He's been sleeping on Illinois. I don't think anybody's. I mean, I know for myself, I haven't really watched Illinois basketball, but I think that now that he's on this stage, I really think he's gonna prove why he deserves to be a top draft pick next year. It's not really a hot take, but I definitely feel like he's gonna, show he belongs for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, man. I think I completely agree with you, dude. I think he's the guy that I would be like, oh yeah, I could see him going a little crazy here in the Final Four. Again, I love his game, and I love how he was kind of underrated, going into college, and proved everybody wrong immediately. And I love it. I love guys like that kind of just show everybody, like, why didn't you recruit me, kind of thing. I think that's great.
Right.
Because I don't know, I can go into more details there, but I think the whole recruiting side of things, I don't think a lot of people do a great job. And I do have to give my kudos again to Illinois for recruiting him, because excellent job. Whoever studied his game and found him did an excellent job. So
yeah,
that kind of leads
the same, especially.
Oh yeah. So that kind of leads into my next thing I was wanting to do. So I would like to build. Can we build a Final Four starting five? Like you pick your five, or pick five players, and I bet you mine are probably the same or similar. So I would love to hear your starting five for the Final Four.
I got Jaden Bradley at the 1.
Yep.
I got Wagler at the 2.
Yep.
I got Koa Pete at the 3. Give me Lindenberg at the 4, and then I want Terrence Reed, UConn, at the 5. We're going to be real big, but hey, we're playing defense and we're rebounding, so the scoring can take care of itself. But yeah,
dude, I love that. I love that lineup. If I was picking five, that would probably be my 5. And if not, the only one I might sub Koa Pete out and just put Yaxel at the 3, and then move Terrace Reed to the 4 and Ade Mara at the 5. Talk about a massive lineup too, but I love both.
Huge.
Like, that would be a huge lineup, dude. That's NBA, like, bigger than most NBA teams. Yeah, dude, I love Koa Pete, dude. Oh, dude, it would go wild, dude. That would be crazy.
What do you think about Koa Pete's game? Do you think it transfers to the next level?
I do. I think it does. I know a lot of people, they kind of say similar things as far as like Cam Boozer too. That very similar. They don't always think that play style transfers to the NBA, but really, I think it's all fit. What team do they fit on? That kind of thing. Because teams that could use their play style and do use it currently is like the Knicks, dude. Like, I think they would be a perfect fit for a team like that, or a team that has needs guys of that caliber that kind of like they rebound. They play different. They play everywhere, and I think anybody can use them. It's just how they're going to use them. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts there too?
Yeah, that small ball lineup is definitely taking over the league. So I feel like playing him at the 4 or a 5 every now and then would definitely benefit because you can stretch the floor. He can put it on the ground. He can bring it up too. So I mean, you can really play him anywhere. So I definitely feel like that he'll be the league.
Yeah, I agree with you. I completely agree. Yeah, I was really, really excited to hear your 5. Actually, man, that now that you say it, yeah, I would probably stick with your 5 over my 5 because, yeah, I like the small ball just a little better. Or I say small,
Yeah.
smaller than my lineup, but
Right.
So next, moving on, we'll go to the center court breakdowns. I know me and Collin are both really wanting to break this down, but we're going to break down the film from the Florida versus Iowa game, kind of the end of the game there. The last about 2 to 3 really big possessions and moments in the game. So really excited for that, and we're going to pull it up right now. So let me, and feel free to take the lead if you would like, Collin. Up to you. So
we can tag team it. We can.
Heck yeah. So right here, obviously, Florida got fouled, missed the first free throw of 2, which was big. And they tie the game up here.
Right now, pause.
Yeah. I can back it up too if you need me to.
Yeah. Back it up to where they're taking it up.
Right here. Is that good?
Perfect. If you're Florida, if you're Florida, you want why? I understand pressuring the ball, but you don't want it going towards the other end. You're starting a fast break, so you want your back to be towards your goal. Like you're letting him catch it on the run with 8 seconds left. He's not using a ton of time, and then you're in scramble because it's a fast break scenario. Hard to match up. I just don't understand why execution was terrible. I feel like for your championship last year, you should know, like you should be prepared for this. You were just in this scenario a year ago.
Absolutely. And like you said, why are they face guarding? It makes no sense to me. Like,
right?
Why are you trying to get a 5-second count? You're up by 2. Like, play defense. It's okay. I would just try to slow them down a little bit, but no, they face guard and speed them up. It makes zero sense in my opinion. I was completely baffled whenever they did this because, I don't mind them pressing again, but run like a 1-2-2 press or one that kind of deal where you slow them down, just kind of keep them in front of you for a minute. The way they did this was I don't understand. I really don't. And again, they have a championship winning coach, and not some dummy like me, but it's like that should be common sense in my opinion. I don't know. That's my thoughts, at least on this very first part right here, but I'll play it real quick so everybody can see it. Oh, dude. The lack of execution.
Right. I would much rather you foul. I mean, worst case scenario, they tie the game up. Like, just
exactly.
Terrible execution.
Yeah, I was disappointed. And then you leave their best shooter or one of their best shooters right there in the corner, wide open. It's like
corner.
Yeah, give up a layup. You don't give up a 3. What are you doing? Like, just from the player's perspective, come on, you got to be able to think a little bit, Like, if this guy's dribbling down the floor, maybe I should stop the ball, or maybe I should run to the corner with the guy that's wide open. Nope, let's just stand in the paint. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
And then as a shooter, Caleb, I know you can shoot the ball. But, the two spots, the top of the key and the corner, are like the easiest shots as a shooter. So why would you leave a corner three wide open?
Exactly.
I just don't understand.
That was for Ben McCollum in Iowa, that was probably the easiest play that he has ever had to draw up. Like, seriously. Literally, it was get Bennett Sturts the ball, dribble down the floor. Hey, you're into the corner. You're wide open. Like, that was the easiest play I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. It's like I don't know, Florida's lack of execution down the stretch. They missed the free throws here, then this, and then I do want to play the very last possession too, where Florida has the ball, and I really want to get your thoughts on this too, because I'll talk about it in a minute, but here's the Florida possession right here. So they obviously burned a timeout, and then they get the ball, and here's the play they run out of a timeout. I was doing exactly what I would do. Not pressure, like oh.
I get that he wanted to. Everybody was collapsing on him, so obviously somebody was wide open. But at that moment, you have to go score. There's no passing the ball. You're limited. It was what, 3 seconds left?
Yes.
There's no reason for you to be passing the ball. You should at least try to draw a foul or do something.
Especially after 2 to 3 dribbles. They say it's 1 dribble per second, something like that is how much you get typically. Right. And after your internal clock, or his internal clock's got to be going ticking. I thought he had a decent look to shoot the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In order for him, but he decided to pass it instead. So I don't know if that was intentional, they drew it up to where he needed to throw the ball in. But and again, Iowa did right there exactly what I would have done if I was Florida in the previous possession. Play off of him a little bit, just kind of attempt to slow him down. Don't foul. Foul if you absolutely had to, better than giving up a wide open three. But the lack of execution by Florida down the stretch was surprising from the reigning champs. So I don't know. I was shocked watching the end of this game.
I would have liked to have known what the play call was, or what he wanted him to do in that scenario.
Absolutely, because it looked very vanilla, but he could have said do this and this, and then he just went rogue for that matter, and just done whatever he wanted to do.
As a coach, though, this got my thinking about stuff that I could have done in that scenario. I would have liked to have seen. I know they had 3 seconds. I would have liked to see maybe a heave to the 3-point line, the Christian Laettner shot, maybe a long pass, and maybe see what you got from there. You got Thomas, you got height, so I would take my chances
for sure. Or even if they did what they were doing, which I'm a big ball screen guy, and yes, they don't have a lot of time, but even if they had set a high, really, really high ball screen and him going full speed right off of it, at least it would have got him a little more open. Then, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
potential three right there. Granted, a pull-up three is not easy, but it's a better look than throwing it from the baseline, under the basket. That's not an easy pass. And going full speed, trying to shoot a layup with one of your smaller guards, that's not easy to do. But also, so moving on, still talking about college, I really, really wanted to talk about the Don Staley and Gino Auriemma interaction last night. I know I've sent you the video, and whenever you texted it to me, I was like, oh, dude, I have so many thoughts on this. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. So I want to hear what you think about it. And, yeah.
First off, I want to give credit. They're both amazing coaches. Not taking anything away from either one of them. They have historic backgrounds. They are definitely deserving to be in this spot. However, I think the reign of UConn being the top tier talent, getting all the top recruits and winning championships every year, I think that reign is over. Just like Alabama, how they were in the championship every year, I think that's come to an end, and Don Staley has the torch now, and I don't think Gino is ready to pass that on. I mean, I know they won last year, but South Carolina's been prevalent for the past 10 years, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But Gino is definitely corny to me. I definitely feel like he's an old man that's stuck in his ways, and that he's not ready to give up his title. Which I mean, I wouldn't either, because I would want to win as much as I can. But for him to say that he was mad because he didn't get a handshake, come on now. Let's just be honest. You're mad because you lost. Let's just call it. And if UConn would have won, I guarantee you he would have never brought up that handshake. We would have never even heard about it. So let's just be honest. But what do you think?
So I completely agree. And really, from a thought perspective, maybe Dawn was really just trying to get in his head from the jump. And she did a excellent job at it. Excellent job, because he's over here thinking about her the whole game. There was an interview at the start of the third quarter where he's talking about her. They're asking him questions, and he's like, well, their coach is just flipping out on the sidelines. And I'm like, dude, you're not even worried about your team. You're worried about her. Like, that's the sign she's in your head, dude. So, if that was what she was trying to do, excellent job. And again, like you said, give credit to both of them. They're both excellent coaches. Some of the probably two of the 5 greatest coaches of all time, especially in women's basketball. But yeah, Gino, you got to grow up, dude. Come on. You got to, when you lose, you lose. It's just is what it is. You got to grow up. It is tough, I'm sure, especially being 38-0 or whatever, and then you lose your first game in the Final Four. But my thinking is dude, everybody loses. So you got to suck it up. I don't know. It's very soft, in my opinion, the way he reacted to that. And, Don Staley's reaction to how he acted towards her, it's probably understandable. I understand why she got heated. There's a grown man acting like a buffoon, flipping out on her about how she acts. And it's dude, she has every right to do what she wants to do on her sideline. It's what she wants to do. She's the coach of South Carolina. She can do what she wants. I mean, I guess you could say the same about Gino, but
I've never seen him behave like that ever.
Right. I never have either, and I don't know. I'm so confused. I really want to hear what was said there, and obviously they're never probably going to repeat it, but I really want to hear the inside scoop there. I don't know. That was a very confusing interaction, in my opinion.
What really sent me over the edge was in an interview, he was like, I got players that got their jersey ripped and the referee act like they don't see anything. And there's clearly I'm glad we live in a world of social media and there are a bunch of cameras and everything is documented. Because it was clear as day that Sarah Strong got mad and tore her own jersey.
Yep.
You can't there's cameras everywhere. Everything has to be documented. So let's start with this. That's how I know all the stuff he was saying wasn't real. Because you're lying already. So how can I trust anything? And then I think it was a pride. I think Gino got out-coached from the beginning. I think South Carolina played much harder than him from the tip, and he just could not handle it. And that's you just got to take your losses as a coach. You got to take that on the chin and move on.
Yep.
You can't. And if anybody, he should know that. I don't understand.
Exactly. And then on top of that, when you do take your losses, and you react that way, you should expect questions in the press conference that are going to be about that reaction. He was getting mad about those questions, but those questions are about how you reacted in the game. So like they're valid questions, like completely valid questions from the media there. But he was like getting aggravated that they were asking him, and I'm like, dude, that's how you were reacting. They're literally just asking what all went on, basically. But yeah, two very questionable coaches at UConn at the moment as far as reactions to situations. We talked about Dan Hurley earlier, and then Gino now, so very interesting. So going to the next topic, I really we're obviously getting really close to the NBA playoffs. I believe the play-in games are sometime in the next week or two. So I don't know the exact date. I need to find that. But who do you think the most dangerous team in the playoffs is right now?
First off, I just want to say the Rockets clinched the playoffs. So hey, I'm excited, bro. We got the 6th seed. Definitely. Oh, we got the 5th seed. I think we got the 5th seed. The 5th seed.
Fifth.
Yeah, 5th seed. I definitely think we could maybe get to 4 because like the Nuggets are right above us, but definitely excited about us making the playoffs. But as far as like making waves in the playoffs, I definitely feel like you have to go with the Thunder. Obviously, the Spurs are really good this year. They're not championship tested, so I don't know how they're going to react in the playoff series. But the Thunder for sure. Out of the East, the Cavs have been playing well. The Celtics are always going to be good. I definitely feel like it'll be. I don't know. I'm going to throw my Rockets in there. Of course, I gotta say KD. Even the Sixers, like when Pete from PG has come back from suspension, looking like OKC PG, and it's been. But you know how they are; they always crumble in the playoffs, or somebody gets hurt, so it'll be the same scenario. But I definitely feel like out of the West, it'll be Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, potentially Rockets, and then out of the East, I like Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, of course, and yeah, that's my group. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Unfortunately, my team, they're in the playoff game. I don't see them winning in the play-in games. But I will say I'm excited to see the Spurs. They got a young core. They have beat the Thunder multiple times this season, so I'm excited to see who they end up matching up with. But that's who I really, really want to see in the West. Now, in the East, I'm excited to see Cade Cunningham back because I think I love his game. I know we talked about him a little bit in our last episode, but whenever he's back from his collapsed lung, I'm excited to watch him like really get busy in the playoffs, especially with them being the 1 seed. Hopefully he's fully healthy when he gets back. And I heard a crazy stat. You mentioned the Cavs. I heard it last night. Every single year of James Harden's career, he has made it in the playoffs. And that kind of surprised me a little bit because, at times it's hard to play with. I'm sure it's hard to play with James Harden at times because of how he plays defense, And I'm not taking anything from his game. He's incredible. He's an excellent basketball player. Obviously, he's made the playoffs every year of his career, but that kind of shocked me a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to watch the Cavs, and I love the Knicks too. I love the Villanova boys. I'm a big Mikal Bridges guy. Obviously, love Brunson as well. So I'm excited to see the Knicks, but those are really kind of the teams that I'm excited to watch in the playoffs. Again, I'm excited to see KD. I always love watching KD in the playoffs. I'm a big KD guy as well. But yeah, that's really kind of the teams that I'm pulling for. are excited to watch.
So who you take? Oh,
Oof. Um, I'll probably say Thunder again. I think they repeat. I think they're. It's unfortunate. I mean, I don't want to see them win at all because I'm not a big Thunder guy. I will say I love Jalen Williams. He's my favorite guy to watch on that team. But yeah, I can see the Thunder pulling it out again. But it all depends on matchup. You know, who plays who and when they play. You know, who gets hurt, like you had mentioned with the Sixers and that kind of thing. What about you? Who do you think is going to pull it all out?
I mean, obviously from a fan perspective, I want KD to get his third. But
Oh,
if that doesn't happen, I definitely feel like the Thunder. Here's what'll be interesting. The Spurs have beat the Thunder multiple times in the regular season, but in a playoff series, you get 7. Well, I mean, you necessarily get 7 games, but you can get up to 7 games to strategize, watch film, like make a game plan. So it's not like that's the only team you have to focus on. So I definitely feel like it'll be a better matchup. Granted, there's no really game plan for guarding Wemby, but I definitely feel like they'll have more things in place if they were to meet up in a playoff series for sure.
oh, absolutely. I completely agree with you. I'm um, a 7 game series is completely different than a one game. You know, pulling out one game here, one game there. Um, I'm curious to see how teams do play Wemby in the playoffs because again, it's a different game. The defense, the intensity's kind of leveled up a step. So I'm excited for that. What's one team that is already secured a playoff spot that you just don't have any trust in that you think's just not going to make it?
Have the Lakers secured a spot yet?
Yep, they're 3 seed.
And then Luka just went down. I don't really trust them anyway before Luka, but I definitely feel like I don't trust them at all. At all. They've been playing well lately, but they just have had a good stretch. I don't trust them at all. And then with Luka going down, that definitely sets them back. So this offseason should definitely be interesting. I think they should get off LeBron. That's just my humble opinion. But
Dude, so I'm 100% with you on this take too because and yes, I'm wearing a Lakers jersey, but this is a Kobe jersey. It's not a Bron. I'm not a huge LeBron guy, obviously, but Luka going down. Luka's the best player on that team. You know, they need to quit. Everybody needs to quit acting like it's LeBron. It's not LeBron. It's nowhere near LeBron. It's Luka. I think LeBron needs to change how he plays. I think he's getting up there, like he's getting older. I think the Lakers do need to move on from him. And if they don't, I think he needs to change his game a little bit. He doesn't need to be touching the ball every possession or almost every possession, in my opinion. I think he's needs to be more like a Draymond Green type role. I know that's probably a hot take, but I think that would suit him better at his age, and I think they would be more efficient if he did play that way as a group. I think they would be even better than they are now. If he really just focused on the defensive side and then just facilitating. But yeah, that would be the team too that I agree with that I don't really trust that much right now. I just don't. I'm trying to think if there's any more. The other one that I might say, and they've been playing pretty well, is the Atlanta Hawks. As far as the East goes, that might be the team that I would say that I see them going out pretty quick. Would be my guess. But yeah.
let me ask you this. I had this talk at the barbershop. What do you think about the Wizards? I feel like people are sleeping on them. I think AD sitting out the rest of the season was strategic. I think Trae Young sitting out was strategic. You're getting a top draft pick next year, which could turn into Koa Pete. You can maybe get a Darren Peterson, even AJ DeBance. I mean, you never know or an A-Cuff coming off the bench behind Trae. I mean, I feel like the Wizards are people are asleep right now, but I feel like the Wizards are bound to make some noise in the future. I know the storyline behind AD is he's always hurt and it's hard to play with Trae Young because he doesn't play any defense. But if you get a healthy AD, a healthy Trae Young, you got Alex Sarr at the 5, you got AD playing the 4, which is what he's been wanting to play for his whole entire career. You got Trey Johnson, a knockdown shooter, and then you get a top draft pick. I don't see, and you got young talent around him. So even if Trae Young gets hurt a couple of games where AD sits out, I don't see the drop off being too far. I feel like the Wizards are going to make some noise next year, and people are sleeping, so they better wake up. I'm calling it now. The Wizards are making noise next year.
Dude, I could see it. I really could, and I know we had talked a little bit about him last week whenever we were talking about Bam, but this is a completely different team next year. Like you said, it'll be completely different. AD will be back. Trae Young will be back. I think it is strategic, that, and I don't think it's as far as like tanking. I think it's more of like they want them fully healthy for next season. They want them to be ready to go. But dude, I agree with you. The more I think about that, that's a great take. That is a great take because, like, they're going to have the top pick probably, or one of the top picks. One or two, and if they get Acuff with Trae Young, brother, because I mean, you could run him at the or just sub him in for Trae Young. Like they don't really lose a step. Like they're not going to lose a step. So I like that take. That's a great take. Yeah, I could see them hooping next year. So who is one player? Obviously, I know other than KD. I know because I would say KD as well. But what's one other player in the playoffs that you think could take over, just completely take over? I'm curious to hear your thoughts there.
I mean, obviously you have to go with the top dogs. Jokic can definitely take over a game. That Jamal Murray Jokic pick and roll. I don't think there's anything. No man could come up with anything that could stop that. I think Jokic can take over. I think that Jaylen Brown has proven he can take over. And in Tatum's absence, I definitely think that if you give him the keys, he can lead you down the stretch. I think obviously Wemby can take over. Shea, the infamous midi pool, I think he can take over for sure. And yeah, I think those guys will definitely take over. But in the playoff game, it's all about your role players because your stars can get you 2 to 3 games, but if your role players can sneak and get you a game on the road or sneak and get you, a couple good games here and there, that definitely puts you over the edge.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I like all those picks; those are really good. Who I would say is probably, I mean, and he's done it before. It's probably no surprise. Like this is not a surprise guy or anything, but Anthony Edwards. Depending on who he matches up with, I could see him kind of taking over a little bit because, I mean, he's a stud. He really is. And then as far as the East goes, I wouldn't be shocked if James Harden has some really, really good games. He's playing better than I've seen him in the past few years, in my opinion. And I really like that Cavs team. I could see him, kind of getting hot a little bit. He's going to be fun to watch. Really, I'm just excited for the playoffs. That leveled up intensity, and I love the regular season too. But the playoffs is like it's just different. So I'm excited for it. And then, so before we wrap up every episode, do you have anything else you want to touch on, Collin?
No, I'm good. I didn't even mention the Timberwolves. I definitely feel like they're definitely in the playoff race. What seed are they right now?
They are the 6th seed, right behind the Rockets. So they'll probably match up with maybe the Lakers. Oh, buddy. Ooh. Yeah, the Lakers.
First round, that'll be tough. With no Luka, if he does come back. Yeah.
With no Luka. Oh yeah.
That'd be tough. But no, I'm good. I'm excited to see these games tonight. I'm definitely gonna kick up and relax, eat some good food, and watch these games. Definitely going to be tuned in to UConn to see if Hurley goes off again or he'll but somebody else. Who knows what he'll do this time? But I'll definitely be intrigued to watch these games tonight. But no, I think this was a good episode too. I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm curious to see what Dan Hurley does too. If it's an RKO this time, or if it's like a right hook or something. No telling. Some wrestling moves out there. But before we wrap up every episode, we want to share like a quick Bible verse and something that means something to us. So I'll get that started. I'm going to flip open to my Bible to I actually posted this on our socials yesterday. It's Isaiah 53:5. And it says, "But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed." And I think this is very fitting for this weekend. Obviously, it's Easter weekend. It's Resurrection Sunday tomorrow. And what's so cool about this is Isaiah 53 was written approximately 700 years before Jesus was even born. So and it's, in my opinion, it's talking directly about Jesus dying for us on the cross. Isaiah is like prophesying that this is literally the coming of Jesus and Jesus dying for our sins. And that's really, really important to me. And I think it's really important to this weekend and to know that Jesus sacrificed everything for us, and took the punishment we rightfully deserve. So that one means a lot to me, and I wanted to share that one this weekend. But yeah.
For sure. I think that's definitely suiting for this weekend, and let us not forget that. I think that's very important. But mine would be Psalms 55, verse 22. It says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved." I think that's very important because the times we live in, we don't know with our president, we don't know what our day-to-day looks like. So I feel like people can worry, but the Bible clearly says that if you cast your cares on the Lord, he will sustain you. So in tough times, I just feel like, I know it's easier said than done, but if you cast your cares, I promise he will take care of you. So definitely feel like we need to remind ourselves of that day to day with all the crazy things happening in the world, the tough times we're living in. Definitely feel like we should be rooted in that verse for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that one, because, I find it so often in my life, and like I try not to do it, but I end up doing it, or I'll put my burdens, and I'll really focus on the things that I probably shouldn't, or I'll worry about things that I shouldn't. And really I need to cast all my cares and all my burdens on the Lord. And that's really, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a really good one for right now, just in general in my life. And then as a whole, I think that's very, very important, especially with everything that's going on in the world today, America, as well as other countries too. I think that's really important. But so to close, if you enjoyed the show, make sure to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, on all socials. It's at Center Court Pod. We'll see you next week. Y'all have a good one.
See ya.